yeah. Ooh, yeah. I always thought that our relationship was good. You played the role I haven't since. I always played the fool. Now something's different. I don't know the reason why. Whenever we separate, I almost wanna cry. Oh no, please not that again. Love a reason, it's ugly. Welcome back to another One Chart lesson. Today we're doing another all-time favorite of mine by Living Colour. It's called Love Rears Its Ugly Head. It's a basically a 12-bar blues song, but they just, they've done something else with it, and it's a great song. The first thing you're going to notice is we're doing not your traditional bar chords or open chords, but sort of a slightly cleaner, almost jazzier version of these voicings. The chords are very simple. They are B7, A7 and E7, but the way that the guitarist Vernon Reid plays them, and you'll notice also that I'm using a pick today, which is a bit unusual for me, but for the attack and for the kind of attitude that you want to put on the strings with this song, a pick suits it quite well. You can absolutely play it with your fingers like I normally do, but today we're going with a pick. So the B7, plays like this, and I think these three fingers are the most convenient to use. You can use these three fingers, you can do it like that, but 7th fret on your E string, that's your root note, and then your 7th fret on the D string and 8th fret on the G string. And when you play that, if you strum that chord, the strings that you have your fingers pressed onto are the only ones that you want to hear. So you want to muffle that A string with the underside of this finger, and these top strings you want to kind of muffle with either your pinky or your other finger, or somehow you only want to hear these 3 strings. Okay? Then he goes down 2 frets with the exact same shape to an A7, and then your E7 is 7th fret A string, 6th fret D string, and 7th fret G string. Now you can carry that through. For the longest time I played this song using full bar chords and a 9 chord there, but I think the 7 chord is all you need, and I think that's what he plays. So we start off, the intro is just like this. Now the timing and the tab that I've put on your chart there is as close to accurate as I can possibly get it. That little weird triplet feel there, it's pretty accurate, but the last strum on the E7 actually lasts probably for a little bit longer than the semi-quaver triplet that is on your chart, but that's really neither here nor there. I could have extended it into the next semi-quaver, but it would have made the tab a little bit messier. In the sake of accuracy, that's what I've done there, and you go through that 3 times. And that's where he does all the little kind of vocal ad-libs. The 4th time through, he does this little chow, which timing-wise can be a little bit tricky to do. Again, I've tabbed it out accurately here, and I've used all those, again, triplet semiquavers in order to demonstrate where that bit comes. But the simplest way of thinking of it is that slide down where you hit, it doesn't matter where you hit, but I think around about the 10th fret on the E string, you hit that and slide down. That happens on beat 3 of that bar. So you're going da-dum-dum. But just before that, are those two little triplet semiquavers that lead you to land on that other sliding note. That one, right? Then he's into the verse. Now, when the verse starts, when he starts singing, he keeps that sort of eighth note rhythm going on just those two strings. So on the first beat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the bass note comes on 1 with the other two strings, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the last strum before you go down to the A7. And that little bit there, again, triplets in order to make this as accurate as possible, but you can hear what it sounds like, and all you've got to do is hold that E7 chord and go, and on the last one, back to the G string. Play that again for you. That little bit there, it's called variation 1. Whenever you see variation 1 written on your chart, that's what you do after the E7. The second, you play the role of having sense, I always played the fool. Instead of doing that variation 1, what they do is, or what he does, is this. And lands back on the B7 for the third line in the verse, right? So, played the role of having sense, I always played the fool. Now something's different, I don't know. Back to the variation 1. Whenever we separate, I almost wanna cry. At the end of that, we go into this little run. Now, when Vernon Reid plays it on an electric, he'll go octaves. So he'll go 4th fret, this is an F sharp note, but he goes 4th fret D string and 7th fret B string, and goes 4, 5 and 8, 7 and 10. So just slides that octave shape up, and he lands on a D sus2. Great sounding chord. I think it sounds better if you're on an acoustic. That'll work great on an electric with distortion and everything, but on an acoustic, I think it works well just to do this, and it's cleaner and it's kind of easier on your fingers as well. If you hit the F sharp there on the 4th fret D string, go to open G, 2nd fret G, so the same 3 notes, hold that there, and then form a D sus2 as an open chord, and really let that ring. So you go. Now this is a C sharp minor 7. You'll see Vernon Reid play that if you look at videos of them doing this, C sharp minor 7. You can also do it down here, and I think on an acoustic guitar it works better than doing a bar chord there. But suit yourself, either way is fine. But back into that without the little bits in between. Again. Stop there. It's ugly head. And then we move into the first solo, which I'm not going to touch these solos. They're fantastic little wah, simple pentatonic style solos. He jumps in and out in between the major and the minor pentatonics for this first solo. I love Vernon Reid's playing. He's a very distinctive guitarist, but I'm not going to do that here because I'm on an acoustic guitar, and there are probably more skillful electric lead players than me out there that have broken down those solos. And if you find them, drop them in the comments below, because we can help everyone by learning as much of this song as we can from all different kinds of sources. Where was I? So the solo goes over without the variations, without the little bits in between. At the end of that solo, he does that little major pentatonic riff. You can play it here, which is what I think they do, because I think I hear them slide up to that B7, or you could play it here, starting on the A string, 9th fret, and then come down to that B7. Either way, it doesn't matter where you play it. Do it where it's most comfortable for you. But that's how we get into the second verse. And when I come home late at night, you don't complain or call. So as a consequence, I don't go out at all. Here, he goes B7, B flat 7, A7, then A7, A flat 7, G7, right? So it sounds like this. Really nice little change. And then they think you put a spell on me, and now my mind is gone. Octaves or no little bits in between, just again, this time we're stopping on the C sharp minor 7. It's ugly head into the second solo. This time round, instead of doing the, you hear a passing G chord or G7, doesn't really matter, but I've just put it ahead of the bar in the chart. It's kind of hanging outside the tab lines there on the left hand side at the beginning of page 2, but you use that as a passing chord. You don't need to play it, but the bridge begins there, lands on the F sharp. E, not so bad, this is E major. B, you can play a B any old way, but I think a B sus2 actually sounds really good there. And he does this little kind of on and off. What I'm doing there is an A chord, but using an open A string and the open B and E strings there. There would be an A bar chord there, but just that sort of voicing. And when you add that sus4 note there on the 7th fret of the G string, like that, it's very easy and it sounds nice and ringing. Then it goes to the next chord, which is a D sus2. Never know when. Then a straight up C major. Love is gonna come. That's the third solo begins there. Check this out. And then same little bits here. I'm standing at the altar as they play the wedding march. I'm in my black tuxedo with my collar full of starch. Again. And as you do this, you can actually use that first finger, if you want to play the major third for the 7th chords here. What I basically mean by that is that if it's a B, that note is your major third. You've still got those 2 fingers on the rest of the chord, so it's still a B7. But it adds that little tone to the chord as well, just to make it sound a little bit groovier. On an acoustic guitar, probably works even better than a distorted electric guitar, because major thirds can sometimes sound a bit muddy on a distorted electric guitar. Anyhow, Same little rundown. She looks like that she's ever gonna get. I wake up from this nightmare in a pool of sweat. Oh, no, please not that again. Here, we're actually continuing these B7 to A7. They're going on as kind of strummed chords. We're not cutting them short again, right? So we're going. Oh no, please not that again. Octaves off, and it's kind of like a little ad-lib chorus. Love is a bit ugly, 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 ugly head on that me. Love is a bit ugly, 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 ugly head. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes and gets you? And here we're finishing. That's the end of it. There's a bit there to unpack. It's really just about the different little variations that you do around that sort of, or the but they're all there. They're all tabbed out on your chart. I hope it's really helpful to you because this is just such a fantastic song to learn. If you like the blues side of things, this is an awesome song. If you like the rock and kind of pop, it's not really pop, but it is pop. It was a big hit back in the 80s at some stage. Either way, it's a great song. Enjoy playing it. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I'll try and help you if I can, and we'll see you here again next time. Thanks for watching.